Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Liz, with Sneak Peeks Tarot. These are your March mid-month readings. General readings for all astrological. Well, this one here is for Aries, but these are general readings. As always, follow your own intuition in any situation. Okay, guys, if you're a subscriber, thanks for coming back. If you're not, please subscribe, hit the alarm, hit the like so you can get my latest videos. If this message does not resonate with you, please check your moon and rising signs. As always, you know, I tell my clients and my viewers to please just follow your intuition, follow your hearts. This is just to give you a more closer energy to what's been going on. Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to keep that card there. But for my mid-month, I'm only doing 3 cards. Okay? Unfortunately, you know, Aries, you kind of got an extra card there. So I'm just going to let it stay. I didn't want to go back up. All right. So, for our first card we got for Aries mid-month general reading is the Hangman. The Hangman talks about looking at things from a different perspective, okay, Aries? So, you know, you want to look at things from a different perspective that's going on in your life right now. The Hangman also talks about being on a standstill, kind of just holding off on whatever you're doing, you know, making sure you got all your information and looking at things clearly before you do things, okay? So, you know, just getting another perspective before you make any decisions or make any moves or start anything new or end anything. Just look at it at a different perspective before you choose to make, you know, before you take the next step or next option, okay, guys? So with this card, though, so we are talking about relationships, all right? The Two of Cups came out, so general reading, it can be about relation, but it also can be about a partnership, all right, guys? You can be in a partnership at work, or you can be in a partnership in a relationship, all right? This talks about working together and, you know, seeing things from a different perspective, whether it's in a relationship or just a partnership you're dealing with, okay, guys? So keep that in mind. We're looking at things differently, in a different light for the rest of the month of March, from today and forward, okay? And then you also got the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups talks about, you know, for some of you, this can be, you can be like a mother figure and you can have children and, you know, you could be very nurturing right now in your relationship. So you might have kids with this person, okay? For others, other Aries, this is just talking about using your intuition, you following your heart and really listening to yourself, you know, being mature about your feelings and you're mature about pursuing relationships, okay? So far we got seeing things from a different perspective in a partnership or a relationship, okay? It could even be, you know, your same relationship between you and your child, all right, Aries? Coming up with a different perspective, seeing things differently, what's going on with your children or in your family, you know, and working together to make ends meet or, you know, taking the next step if they're in school or whatnot. But looking at the situation from a different perspective. And those are for you, that are mothers, you know, just, you know, don't really jump the gun with your child. Kind of look at why they're doing what they're doing, or why is it that things are happening the way they do before you make any judgment. It calls for looking at things from a different perspective, okay? It calls for looking at things differently, the opposite of what you have been. So or just a different way of what you've been looking at. And for those that don't have kids, and this talks about relationship, it talks about following your heart and really following your intuition into your relationship, and just looking at your relationship differently, you know what I mean? Instead of looking at maybe the negative parts, start looking at the more positive things. Instead of always clouding any negative in your relationship that might be happening with, you know, and always focus on the positive, you might not notice some red flags. So just, you know, keep in mind that you need to look at a different perspective from what you're looking at, okay? For those that are in a relationship, all right? And within your relationship, if you're looking at things that one way, you know, like, okay, well, this ain't working out, you really need to just look at it another way and see why it ain't working out, okay? You really need to use your heart and your intuition in this, all right? For those of you that are single, it just talks about when you enter, or those of you that are working, because like I said, this is general reading, so this can be a partnership at work. It talks about looking at the stuff that are going on in your job differently. You know what I mean? And following your intuition, making sure you got everything, all the details you need from your job, from the partner. You know, especially a partner if you're both running a business or you work with somebody, a coworker, getting the proper information and following your intuition and knowing what's going on. Like I said, seeing things from a different perspective, but using your intuition, you know what I mean, to clarify the different perspective in that partnership at work. All right. And for my single people, it's just telling you to follow your heart right now. You know what I mean? Like, to really, if you haven't been dating, or you haven't been, you wanted to do stuff or partner up in some type of partnership with somebody and it hasn't happened yet. It talks about just seeing things differently so that way you can come up with a clearer and a better understanding, get that epiphany, I guess. And see where it's at that you and your partner need to see eye to eye, and where your differences in viewpoints are at when it comes to work and finances. Okay, guys. Now, the last card I did get for Aries is the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups talks about somebody coming in offering you some love. Okay, but it also could talk about somebody coming in with a message. And you really got to use your intuition and your heart. This is, you could also be dealing with a Pisces. All right. Pisces or any water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, okay, guys? But I really see Pisces here. So some of y'all Aries that are dealing with a Pisces talks about reevaluating the relationship, partnership, whatever it is this Pisces you're connected with. For others of you, a Pisces is coming in trying to offer you a cup of love, or you're offering this cup of love to a Pisces. And it's telling you just look at things from a different perspective. If things ain't moving the way you want, or, you're kind of stuck in a situation, you just got to look at things differently. Okay, guys? Like I said, this is a general reading, so it's not going to be a long reading. I am going to give you, I always give you a bonus card at the end anyways. The outcome card. So, this is really, I want my Aries to really follow your intuitions, okay? And if it's about love, follow your intuition. See things from a different perspective. Follow your heart. Make sure you're making decisions using your head and your mind, because Two of Cups also talks about making decisions level-headed and emotionally balanced, all right? Using both head and mind, making decisions. And it could be you making decisions about, like I said, first of all, for you to have a kid, you could be making decisions about your child, and you got to see things differently. If you're single, about how you your pursuit of love. If you are in a relationship, looking at your relationship in a different light. Maybe if you've been looking at it real negative, maybe focus on the positive, or vice versa. And for those that, just for my people that are single, somebody's coming in for love. Regardless, I see love on the table, even though this is not a love reading, but it kind of is a love reading for some of you. For some of you, it talks about following your heart and offering that cup of love and seeing things differently and pursuing what you want. The Queen of Cups is a very mature and very stable person. They're very empathic, very intuitive, nurturing. Like I said, that's why I said this can be a mother if somebody has kids. But overall, this is somebody very mature, Aries, okay? So this is kind of the energy, you're kind of having to take on, is being very intuitive about how you feel in life and following the direction that's better suits you, that's better for your higher perspective, and doing things that are higher for yourself. Or, like I said, if you have a child, doing something better for your child, looking at things differently in order to help your child. If you're single, looking at looking at relationships in a different perspective can help. If you're in a partnership at work, following your intuition and knowing what's going on, and just looking at the partnership at work differently. Make sure that y'all both on the same page, and that nobody's, because when you're in a partnership, it should be equal. There shouldn't be no, how you call it, power struggles. Y'all should be equal in the decisions, unless you are working with a boss. Then of course they have the upper hand. But when I see these, it talks about partnership, and most partnerships talks about balance and equality. So a partnership, it talks about two people, being balanced and giving and taking equally. Okay, so regardless if this is a partnership at work or just a regular relation, a couple or a family, you still have, the main thing is looking at things differently from what you've been seeing lately. Okay, guys, and really focusing on, what kind of stuff bring you to certain perspective. Like, why does it lead you to that point, or why do you think that way? And maybe if you take all those same reasonings of why you see things this way and kind of focus on the opposite way of the way you're looking at it, you might get some clarity into what you've been trying to figure out. You might get the answers you need. You might get that, like I said, that epiphany, but really, just follow your intuition, guys, and make sure that you're following your heart if it is a relationship in love or even with your child. Making sure you know what's best, what's best at heart for your family or for your partner, or even for at work, knowing what's best for work, making sure you and your partner are balanced and y'all giving and taking equally in your partnership at work, okay, guys? So I'm going to pull out a bonus card for y'all so y'all can take with the rest of the month of March for my Aries, okay? And let's see what comes out for Aries. Bonus card, outcome card for the 15th to the 31st for Aries for 2018. There it goes. Ace of Gabriel. Ace of Gabriel talks about taking action and starting something new. So before you take action, that's what it's telling you. Make sure you're seeing things from a different perspective. Make sure you're following your heart. Make sure you're very intuitive before you take any action on whatever partnership it is, whether it's with your child, a boss, or a lover. Okay, guys? And for my single ones, making sure you make decisions using your head and your heart. Okay, guys? That means make the decisions properly that are best for you. Think about them and feel what's best for you. Okay? So the message we got from the Ace of Gabriel says a gift of passion, opportunity, and inspiration. The chance to do something amazing, a sense of wonder. But it also talks about taking action. It is passion. It's the beginning of it, or something very passionate. But it's also about before you start something, starting something, getting a new creative project in hand, a new relationship, a new work project, stuff like that. These are the things that's telling you just look at things in a different perspective before you take action, before you make your next move. Okay, guys? So just keep that in mind for the rest of the month of March. Just look at things differently or look at things from all angles before you make your final decision or whatever outcome or choices, whatever you're starting, creative action you're taking in life, okay? So, as always, my Aries, follow your intuition in any situation. I love and respect who you are. Thank you. Namaste.